WNTN Newton.
Tomorrow is going to be an excellent day. We're also going to say hello to the very distinguished Dr. Abram Sacker, the first president of Brandeis University, and a gentleman whose resume really extends 3, 4, 5 arms lengths long. He's done quite a bit of work. He's got a lot to offer. We'll talk to Dr. Abram Sacker, and that'll be tomorrow on 1550 AM WNTN. With us in the studio at this time is also another distinguished person with a resume that also flows and flows and flows, and he is Charlie Feely, my partner, Wednesdays and Fridays here on WNTN. Lieutenant Feely spent 42 years with the Newton Police Department, is now the chairman of Newton's Council on Aging. And good morning. How you doing, Charlie?
Couldn't be any better, Charles. Couldn't be any better.
I want to point out for people who are TV buffs that last night, of course, you were on Dateline Newton hosting.
I was Charlie Brennan last night.
Don't say that too loud. Don't insult yourself. It's a bad habit. Let's see here. Where's my list here? Didn't I walk in here with, here you are, our television schedule. Last night, you interviewed Mike Malik along with Dave Lubroff of the Newton Tab and Kevin Kennedy of the Newton Graphic, and this program is going to be rebroadcast today at 1 o'clock. Check that, 1:30. That'll be on Dateline Newton, Continental Cable, channel number 3, today at 1:30, and before that at 1 o'clock, if you can't get enough of Charlie, he'll be on Senior Focus as well today with Elsie Frank and Anna Fleischer, the program's producer, and of course the founder of the Buddy System and the Celebrity Series. So if you enjoyed the Boob Tube, you'll enjoy Charlie Feely, and that'll be today.
Thank you. I was filling in for you on both those occasions, and with Mike Malik, I was nothing more than a traffic cop. I was the man in the middle between Kevin Kennedy and Dave, and it worked out rather well.
Well, today I guess you talk about the decorum on the Board of Aldermen, is that right?
Yeah, they were discussing it, and I just was more or less the timekeeper.
You know, when I first got to Newton, this is, about 5 years ago when I first started covering local politics anyway, the topic of discussion at that time was the decorum on the Board of Aldermen and how some aldermen are very unruly. I see that it's become fashionable to report on this again, and it appears as though the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Well, you can go right back to the beginning of the country, Charlie. Our first Congress was somewhat like our Board of Aldermen.
That's right.
Everybody had their points, and there was no lack of sincerity. It was a question of style.
Well, I think that they told John Adams, didn't they? Wasn't he an unruly member of that Constitutional Congress, and they kept on telling him to sit down and shut up? I think so.
I think they were doing that constantly to anyone that disagreed with whoever was speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes not only in our legislative halls, but it goes in our clubs, it goes in our churches. Did you ever see a church group get together, Charlie, that could agree on everything? As a matter of fact, between the Pope and Father Curran right now we're having a to-do.
That's right.
Not loud, but it's a to-do.
Tonight, I should also point out, and I forgot to do a commercial, and these things pay the bills, so why don't we mention that the West Newton Cinema at 1296 Washington Street in West Newton Square is one of the area's best local independent theaters, and I think one of the last ones as well. 4 films there tonight: A Great Wall, Mona Lisa, Room with a View, My Beautiful Laundrette. Sunday through Thursday, seniors get discounts, so it's an excellent place to go if you're looking for a lot of fun and a good quality film. That's the West Newton Cinema, 964-6060 for all the listings, the West Newton Cinema, and I think we mentioned this before, that it is one of the last great independent cinemas.
Yeah, I can remember long before you came, we had the Paramount in Newton Conner, we had, of course, the West Newton, and we had the Playhouse in Wellesley, we had the Capitol over in Alston, and we even had E.M. Lowe's down in Watertown Square, which was a reduced-rate theater. But we had theaters just, and of Waltham, the Embassy, and the Central Square Theater, and the old, I'm getting way back, the old Waldorf.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last place to have vaudeville.
Have you tried to get into the Chestnut Hill Cinema on a Saturday night?
No, I gave up. I worked at one time when one of the Star Wars pictures were there. Yeah. And it was absolutely amazing how the people were trying to would stay in line for hours waiting to get in.
Yeah.
Now on 1550 AM WNTN, the issues of our time with John Prasica.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the John Frasica Show on this 21st day of October, 1998. I'm John Frasica. Here's what we have to share with you for today. Plan on bringing in Lee Johnson. He's the Republican candidate for Middlesex County District Attorney. He's looking for your vote on November 3rd. That's Election Day. And, of course, as you know, we're discussing issues with the candidates here in the next couple of weeks to remind you that you should be out there voting on November 3rd. We don't tell you who to vote for. We just tell you to listen up, because you'll be able to get an idea of who you can vote for by listening to the candidates on our show. So today at 11:35, Lee Johnson, Republican candidate for Middlesex County District Attorney. We'll also check in with some things happening in and around our city. We'll have our 5 tips for the day, as in food, that is. That's right, if you get 5 fruits and vegetables a day, you should live a healthier life, they say, and that's what we'll talk about. We'll also chat with Tom Cuddy. He'll have sports, and of course, Bruce Dixon has a medical update. So please, stay right here on the John Frasica Show. Let's get into our first.
Now, 1550.
WNTN Newton. WNTN Newton.
Radio station WNTN now concludes its broadcasting day. WNTN is owned and operated by the Newton Broadcasting Corporation. WNTN operates on an assigned carrier frequency of 1550 kilocycles with a power output of 10,000 watts, operating from sunrise to sunset as authorized by the Federal Communications Commission. Our studios and transmitting facilities are located at 143 Rumford Avenue, Newton, Massachusetts. Have a good evening.
Yeah, there's more to life than a paycheck, really. So I wanted some excitement, and I wanted a little bit more out of life.
Stay tuned for Issues and Lifestyles on 1550 Today, a public affairs presentation of 1550 WNTN.
Hi, I'm Paul Roberts, and welcome to 1550 Today, the program that keeps you on top of the issues so you can make intelligent choices. I'll be talking to my guest in just a moment.
Chris Sagatis, the Greek salad king, would like to remind you to pick up a bottle of his famous salad dressing, Yasu, available at all supermarkets. Yasu, the original recipe from Christo's restaurant, is not only great on salads, but as a marinade, it is unsurpassed. Marinate your chicken, fish, or beef for your next barbecue, and your meal will be sensational. It is not only a taste sensation, it's good for you. Made from pure olive oil, blended with just the right spices and vinegars, it is low in fat and is the recommended dressing of several diet clubs throughout Massachusetts.
Never a dull moment. Never. Ever, ever, ever. Mr. D in Grecian Echoes.
Μια χριστουγεννιάτικη ιστορία που έχει συγκινήσει τις καρδιές των Αμερικανών για πολλά χρόνια άρχισε το 1897 όταν ένα μικρό κοριτσάκι έγραψε ένα γράμμα στην εφημερίδα «Ο Ήλιος» της Νέας Υόρκης. «Αγαπητέ εκδότη», έγραφε η μικρούλα, «είμαι 8 ετών. Μερικές από τις μικρές φιλινάδες μου λένε ότι δεν υπάρχει Σάντα Κλος. Ο μπαμπάς λέει, αν το δεις γραμμένο στον ήλιο, θα είναι σωστό». Και η μικρή Βιρτζίνια Χένλον, έτσι την έλεγαν, τελείωνε το γράμμα της στην εφημερίδα «Ο Ήλιος» με την εξής ερώτηση που την κάνουνε κάποια μέρα όλα σχεδόν τα παιδάκια. «Σε παρακαλώ», ρωτούσε η μικρή Βιρτζίνια τον εκδότη, «πες μου, Υπάρχει Σάντα Κλος? Σε απάντηση της ερωτήσεως της μικρής Βιρτζίνια, εκ μέρους της εκκλησίας Francis Pharcellus, η εφημερίδα «Ο Ήλιος», στην έκδοσή της της 21ης Σεπτεμβρίου του 1897, δημοσίευσε το ακόλουθο άρθρο. Ακούστε το. Βιρτζίνια, οι μικρές φίλες σου κάνουν λάθος. Έχουν επηρεαστεί από το σκεπτικισμό της εποχής μας. Ναι, μικρή Βιρτζίνια, υπάρχει Σάντα Κλος. Υπάρχει όπως ακριβώς υπάρχουν η αγάπη, η γενεοδορία, η αφοσίωση και το ξέρεις πολύ καλά ότι αυτά υπάρχουν άφθονα και δίνουν στη ζωή σου ομορφιά και χαρά. Αλίμονο, τι άσχημος θα ήταν ο κόσμος αν δεν υπήρχε Σάντα Κλος. Θα ήταν όσο άσχημος θα ήταν αν δεν υπήρχαν στον κόσμο Βιργινίες. Δεν θα υπήρχε παιδική πίστη, δεν θα υπήρχε ποίηση, δεν θα υπήρχε ρομαντισμός που κάνει ανεκτή την ύπαρξη. Δεν θα είχαμε χαρά και το αιώνιο φως της με το οποίο η παιδική ηλικία γεμίζει τον κόσμο θα εξαφανιζότανε. Να μην πιστεύεις στο Σάντα Κλος, μα είναι σαν να μην πιστεύεις στις νεράιδες. Μπορεί να πεις στον μπαμπά σου να βάλει ανθρώπους σε όλες τις καπνοδόχους να προσέχουν την παραμονή των Χριστουγέννων για να πιάσουν το Σάντα Κλος. Αλλά ακόμη κι αν δεν τον δούνε να κατεβαίνει από την καπνοδόχο, τι θα μπορούσε να αποδειχθεί με αυτό? Κανένας δεν βλέπει το Σάντα Κλος. Αλλά αυτό δεν θα πει ότι δεν υπάρχει. Τα πιο αληθινά πράγματα στον κόσμο είναι εκείνα που ούτε τα παιδιά ούτε οι μεγάλοι μπορούν να τα δουν. Είδες ποτέ νεράιδες να χορεύουνε στη αυλή σου το χορτάρι? Βεβαίως όχι. Αλλά αυτό δεν είναι απόδειξη πως δεν υπάρχουν. Κανείς δεν μπορεί να σκεφτεί και να φανταστεί όλα τα θαύματα που δεν φαίνονται στον κόσμο. Ανοίγεις την κουδουνίστρα ενός μωρού και βλέπεις μέσα τι είναι εκείνο που κάνει τον κρότο. Αλλά υπάρχει ένα πέπλο που σκεπάζει τον αόρατο κόσμο, που ο πιο δυνατός άνθρωπος του κόσμου, ούτε όλοι μαζί οι πιο δυνατοί άνθρωποι του κόσμου μπορούν να το σχίσουν. Μονάχα η πίστη, η φαντασία, η ποίηση, η αγάπη, ο ρομαντισμός μπορούν να παραμερίσουν την αυλαία και να δουν, να φανταστούν την απέραντη ομορφιά και τη δόξα που κρύβεται από πίσω. Είναι πραγματικά. Ω Βιρτζίνια, σε όλο τον κόσμο δεν υπάρχει τίποτε άλλο πιο πραγματικό. Δεν υπάρχει Σάντα Κλος. Ας λέμε δόξα τω Θεώ γιατί υπάρχει, γιατί ζει και θα ζει για πάντα. 1000 χρόνια από τώρα, 10 φορές 10.000 χρόνια από σήμερα, θα εξακολουθεί ο Σάντα Κλος να γεμίζει από χαρά τις παιδικές καρδιές.
A Christmas story that has stirred the hearts of Americans for years began back in 1897 when a little girl, in the halting hand of an 8-year-old, wrote a searching letter to the New York Sun. Dear editor, she said, I am 8 years old. Some of my little friends say there is no Santa Claus. Papa says if you see it in the sun, it's so. Little Virginia Hanlon finished her letter with the simple question that all children eventually come to ask. Please tell me the truth. Is there a Santa Claus? Francis Pharcellus Church wrote an editorial in answer to Virginia's question. It is one of the most beautiful, most famous editorials ever written. Just as Church wrote them, here are the words from the New York Sun from September 21st, 1897. Virginia, your little friends are wrong. They have been affected by the skepticism of a skeptical age. They do not believe except what they see. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. He exists as certainly as love and generosity and devotion exists. And you know that they abound and give to your life its highest beauty and joy.